Hello, everyone. We will start here shortly. Go ahead and say hello. Let me know that you can see and hear me all right. Give just a moment for a couple more people to join, and then we will begin. I see Joni in here. Welcome. I'm just a little bit early, but we'll be starting here soon. All right, let's get going. Hello and welcome. How's everybody doing this week? We had a new moon just a few days ago, new moon in Cancer. I saw a lot of posts and memes about the new moon in Cancer and how to really be concerned about the emotions that are coming up, and it's going to be a very emotional and tumultuous time with this new moon. And I thought to myself, wow, what a limiting belief that we go into that fearful mode, almost that moving away from rather than leaning into those energies and really working with them. And I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. You know, when we think about experiences that we're going to have to go through, oftentimes it's not the experience itself that concerns us or that we're fearful of. It's the emotions surrounding it. And I started thinking about that in all of those posts around the new moon and how more than likely there is a link between that sentiment of, you know, being fearful of the emotional Cancer new moon and our energetic boundaries, and how more than likely the energetic boundaries surrounding our emotional boundary and also our relational boundary and how we move through our relationships, there's probably a disconnect or something that's not at 100% of each of those two boundaries that's preventing us from being willing to have that full human experience and that full emotional range and experience, and also preventing us from seeing that human experience and those emotions as a gift and an opportunity to truly get to lean into those energies and experience more of ourselves. And I think you're going to see that. Many of us, you know, have different experiences with these new moons. I didn't find this to be an extraordinarily emotional new moon, but I knew that a couple people did as well. But if you didn't notice it, more than likely your emotional boundary is sitting pretty good. There's probably not too much going on with that, but we can always strengthen it in different areas too. And I wanted to strengthen it around one specific emotion. And that emotion for me is going to be love. We're going to work with love and what love truly is, right? Because oftentimes as beings, you know, and as our childhoods were perhaps perhaps not perfect, we experienced a version of love that is not truly that balanced and divine love that we're all seeking. We all want love. That's one thing that I can say probably definitively, is that every person in this world craves love. They desire it. They want to have that connection. They want to feel loved, but then they also want to be able to give that love in a balanced manner. But oftentimes our emotions and the way that we were raised prevent us from really knowing what that balanced and true love kind of looks like, what that real unconditional love feels, looks like, how to receive it, how to give it. So I want to explore that concept tonight. Hi, Chelsea, welcome. And just drop in the chat, do you think that you had a good example of love throughout your childhood, or have you found a good definition of what true love looks like? What balanced love? That could be romantic, that could just be friendship, that could be any type of love. It could be for your children. But I just want to hear, do you think your version of love is balanced and also true? Is it truly the definition of love, or is it a version that we were taught to accept as love? And with that, also, love is always processed within our heart, and the heart is linked to our relational boundary. So I know you guys have heard me talk about relational boundaries, the four energetic boundaries specifically. The relational boundary is about 2 feet away from your body. That's where that one exists. And this is truly how we both function in our relationships, but also the types of partners that we attract to us. So you can kind of take a look at your relationships and see if the majority of them are beneficial. Are they symbiotic? Do they do for you what you do for them? Or is it kind of a one-way street and how that love runs, or that care, perhaps even that empathy runs too? And then with that too, when we also are in that relational boundary and exploring that concept of love, there are always emotions underneath that emotion of love that we experience, and above that we experience as well. And we're going to experience that within our emotional boundary, which is 2 feet, or about 1 foot away from the body, 1 foot away from the body is the emotional, 2 feet is the relational, and 3 feet is the spiritual boundary. So certainly we're going to work with our emotional boundary tonight and our spiritual boundary, and we're going to work with an angel tonight, also a cleansing waterfall, and at the end you are going to receive a gift. This is something that came to me through meditation today, and I could not wait to share it with you because I have found it difficult for me to really describe the words and how the boundaries are so instrumentally important. But I think I have finally found it through this journey, and I'm going to share it with you because it was so powerful for me, and I hope you have that same exact experience. Joni, closer to understanding what love means. Chelsea, it was definitely hard to learn. I had no clue what love was, and I'm still learning as I go. Finally confident I'm a good path on what I believe love is. Yes. And once we have those relational and emotional boundaries firm and solid at 100%, remember, those boundaries both attract and protect. They don't do one or the other, they do both. So we want to make sure that we are both protected, but also attracting exactly the type of relationships that we want. So we're going to explore that tonight. But before we jump into that, I said I would honor any questions that come in live. So Chelsea, Joni, anyone else who is joining me here tonight, do you have any questions for me before we jump into this journey? I will more than likely take questions at the end as well, so no hurry with that. I had one question that did come in earlier, which was asking about the death process and the releasing and kind of what that time frame looks like. With my energetic studies, it has always been on a 7-year process. So the releasing, moving out of this physical body and into the next, whatever that looks like for you, is a 7-year process. So you start that letting go process 7 years prior to the actual event, typically, unless, of course, sudden deaths. We are talking about, a death that has time to move through all of the transitioning processes, but it's a 7-year process to where your being kind of gets right with itself, gets right with that physical and emotional body, and then moves out through those 7 years. And I know I personally, when I learned that, I could see it with my grandparents when they had passed. I could see how on that 7-year window things really started to change with how they were zest for life, the way they were moving through life, the way they were planning, the way they were looking forward to things was just different in that 7-year time span. So I know that question came in ahead, but are there any other questions before we jump into this journey? Shannon, hello, welcome. Not seeing any questions come in, so let's jump into this journey. I'm so excited to share it with you. I want you to go ahead and close your eyes, find a nice comfortable spot. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale slowly. I want you just to come into that heart-centered space and feel that liquid light coming through completely within that heart, expanding out through your entire body. You could almost feel it undulating up through your neck, your head, back down into the heart, down into the abdomen, into your legs and knees, all the way down to your feet, making its way back up, and it just keeps flowing up and down, up and down. You can just feel that liquid light completely encompassing you. I want you to really kind of pay attention to the color you see that light as. Just take note of it. There is no right or wrong answer here. I just want you to take note of everything. It's one thing with journeys, everything that you experience has meaning and is important. And now I want you to feel that liquid light pushing out through each of your boundaries, through that physical boundary that's right up against your skin, 1 foot out to the emotional boundary, 2 feet out to the relational boundary, and 3 feet out to the spiritual boundary, fully encompassing you. And I want you to feel how big you are, how large that energetic presence that is you is within this liquid light. And now I want you to visualize yourself in a cave. There's an opening to the front that has a beautiful waterfall right in front of you. You're on the back of that waterfall within the cave. You feel the crystalline structure of the earth around you, all of the rocks. Maybe they're amethyst, maybe they're citrine, maybe they're agate or ocean jasper. Take note of how that earth looks and what the crystalline structure is around you. And beneath you is moss and that really soft dirt. You can feel that Mother Earth present both within the rocks around you, but in that nice soft soil beneath your feet. You can smell the sense of the water, you can hear it, you can see it right in front of you, that beautiful waterfall rushing down in front. There's power within that water. There's also safety and security within the cave and within the earth. Just take a moment here and take in all of those scents. If there are any animals that have come into this presence, just take note of them. They may be in the cave with you. Absolutely everything is safe here. Nothing is hard. You're fully protected and supported. Now I just want you to draw your gaze to that waterfall. You can tell that there's someone on the other side of it. That being is going to gracefully and quickly move through the waterfall to stand right in front of you. This is an angel. Maybe it's your angel. Just to take a moment and see that being, that beautiful angel of light right in front of you. Take in what they look like, smell like, their beautiful wings that you see. The angel greets you as you greet them. Take you in a warm embrace because you both have known each other for a very long time. You can feel that true love connection that the angel has for you and that you have for the angel. this elated feeling right here. This is true love. This is what love feels like. The angel and you both embody it in this moment. The angel within his or her hands, has a light orb that is the essence of love and what it truly is in its entirety. When you're ready, you're going to go ahead and open your heart center to allow that angel to just gently move that light orb into your heart so that you can fully experience that true, divine, unconditional love. In 3, 2, 1. The essence of love is now within your being. I want you to take a moment and just breathe that in. Feel everything that you feel with this complete and whole love feeling. Take note of any differences than how you perhaps have defined love before, any subtle energy differences, any feelings or emotions that come up with it, and also how you feel fully and completely supported, nurtured, and truly held in love. Just take a moment and feel this. Sometimes it's an extraordinarily powerful experience, but the angel is there to hold your hand to help you transition into absolutely every feeling of this love. Making sure that you're breathing deeply, that essence of love in, and on that exhale, releasing any limiting beliefs or anything that you thought was love that was not. On the exhale, all of that is just going to come out and release so that you never repeat those patterns or circumstances again. Breathing in love and out everything that is completed and that you are done with. Fully coming into that true and entire essence of you. Now the angel is reaching out to your hand and is coaxing you closer to that waterfall. You can have a little bit of trepidation with this, but the angel just smiles and tells you absolutely everything is going to be okay. You are divinely supported. But I'm going to help you release anything that doesn't serve you in your love and your relationships out of those energetic boundaries. The water is going to cleanse and purify each of those boundaries, releasing everything that doesn't serve within your relationships. Take the angel's hand, take one step closer to that waterfall. You're about 3 feet away from it, and it's touching your spiritual boundary. This magical water swirls around you, fully engulfing that spiritual boundary and cleansing away absolutely everything that no longer serves you in your relationships and any limiting beliefs around love. Just take a moment to take this in. Any colors, scents, sounds, or words that come to you, just take note of them. And just fully be open to accept and receive all of this new energy coming in. And also the acceptance to release everything that you are completed or done with. Everything that no longer serves you is just moving out of your being. An angel is going to move you one step closer. You're now about 2 feet out from that waterfall, and your relational boundary is fully engulfed in this magical water, completely surrounding you and engulfing you in its liquid light and essence, cleansing out everything within the relational boundary that is preventing you from having the relationships that you truly desire. Inhale in the true essence of love. Exhaling everything you are done with. Letting it completely leave your being and your energetic boundaries. One more time. Now that angel is going to take you one step closer to that waterfall. We're now 1 feet away from it. Our emotional boundary completely engulfed in the cleansing waters of that liquid light energy. We're letting everything go from our emotional boundaries that no longer serve us in our relationships and around the idea and the trueness of love. There could be some grief or sadness that comes up here. Just let those waters wash it away. And then you hear the angel smile and say, have compassion for yourself. You are a human having a human experience that is also a divine being. But with that, you have to have compassion for the human experience and anything that happened within that experience that you're not proud of or that didn't serve you or others. Have compassion for that and grant yourself forgiveness for staying in any relationship patterns that didn't serve you or for possibly harming others within relationships as well. Make amends with yourself and have compassion. You're a divine being, but also a human having a human experience. You are here and now to learn and to have that human experience. So grant yourself that serenity and space to allow yourself to have that experience with compassion, love, and understanding for you and who you were in those times. Also with the acknowledgement that you are no longer that person and you are coming even closer to who you truly are at that divine spirit level. Every shift you make, every transformation, every single time you allow compassion and love to come in, you are one step closer to that divine being that you truly are at your soul level. Take a big deep breath in on that. Exhale slowly. Breathe in the acceptance of you and who you are, and release everything that doesn't serve you in that. And now your angel is going to bring you another step closer. You're right at the edge of that waterfall. The water is touching you, fully engulfing you right at that physical boundary, which is right up against your skin. It's liquid light, so nothing is hard here. Everything is safe. But allow that physical boundary to be fully cleansed, releasing any bodily functions or dis-ease that you took on for your relationships, for those you love. Whether it was knowingly or unknowingly, we're going to release all of that energy and just allow it to fully move out because it doesn't serve either you or the person that you took that energy on for. Any anxiety or depression that came up with that, we're just going to let all of that go with our exhale and release it to those cleansing liquid waters to just purify and transmute it into something new and something of love. Your energetic boundaries are now fully cleansed and solidified within your relationships, so you can both attract those relationships that you truly desire, but also hold boundaries with those from a loving standpoint to ensure that you are treated and cared for the way that you should be. But you're able to do it now with love and in the absence of anger, pain, suffering, or rage. You can lovingly establish boundaries with those around you while always being open to receive unconditional love from those that are there to truly lift you up. The angel smiling one more time because you're not quite done. If you remember, the angel walked right through that waterfall, and now they're going to guide you through the waterfall and to the other side as they have a gift that they want you to receive. But with that, you have to trust in them to know that you are divinely supported and safe to move through that raging waterfall. Go ahead and take their hand, and in 3, 2, 1, you're going to swiftly and easily move through the waterfall and to the other side into a gentle pool of water beneath your feet. That pool of water beneath you is just not just a pool, it's also a mirror. You can feel the excitement and the love from the angel as they coax you to look down into the mirror to see you for who you truly are as a divine being. Go ahead and take a look at that mirror, that water beneath you. Look at those energetic boundaries, that 3 feet out, 2 feet in, 1 foot, and then up against your skin. And really take a look at what is behind you and on your body. Perhaps if this is the first time that you have ever been shown your wings. Take a look at the wings that the angel is allowing you to see so that you can see the divine being that you truly are and have always been. The gift is that the energetic boundaries are nothing more than our angel wings that we have always had but perhaps forgot that they were there. These wings both protect us, guide us, and take us to that which we want to attract and have, just like the energetic boundaries do. Our energetic boundaries are nothing more than the human experience of our divine angelic wings that each of us have and will someday be returned to again. Take this in for one more moment. And then I want you to go ahead, thank your angel, say your goodbyes to him or her. When you're ready, you get to take off with those wings and go to exactly that with which you most desire. In 3, 2, 1. You get to fully embody in this moment, here and now, who you truly are at that divine level and who you have always been. Take a big deep breath in, exhaling slowly. And when you are ready, you can make your way back to the here and now, but with who you truly are at the soul level. Take a moment coming back. Let me know how everybody is doing. I would love any thoughts anyone has around this journey and how you're feeling. And then in just a moment, I will go back to those questions. And if anyone has any questions, they are welcome to ask them as well now. But take your time coming back. I'm just going to get those questions and comments pulled up. Drink some water if you have some. If you don't, I highly recommend you go grab some to help that new energy flow really transition in and just become part of you easily and fluidly. All right. One of the questions in the chat is, I need guidance with a traumatized 6-year-old child. How can I help him? I would say, one, it kind of depends on the trauma that is coming in, but as you know and you have access to within the Thinkific platform group, you always have the tapping is one of the best tools to release out trauma. Also, light column activation. A lot of that will really help with any trauma relief that's coming in there, but also kind of the extent of the trauma is important too. One thing I will say is that children respond to energy work so much easier than we do, so absolutely they will respond a lot quicker. So they need less. From a crystal standpoint, for trauma release, I really like Pneumite, even for kids. I think you have that too, so even allowing him to hold the Pneumite and setting the intention that it will help to release any trauma that has come in may be very, very helpful. But if you want to give me a little bit more info on what's going on with that child, I would be happy to help. But I would say Pneumite, light column activation, and also tapping are 3 really good techniques to help kids process and move through trauma as well. Joni, a little bit raw. Yes, this is probably one of the most powerful journeys that has ever come to me. I felt the same thing earlier today when I did it. I feel like it was the first time that I truly got to see and experience myself at who I really am. If you need a little bit of assistance with that, don't hesitate to ask. We can move through that even more, but that heart center is going to be really, really open to that true essence of love. So it can be a very powerful experience. Tapping, light column activation, also UFO holding, which is just the hands on the head, will be really helpful to transition into that too. Shannon, you're doing good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, this one was emotional for me as well, you guys. So hopefully you liked it though and found usefulness within it. Janessa, oh, I see. Where'd you go, Yvonne? I thought you saw you in here. Welcome, Yvonne. It's so nice to see you. Janessa, that was dope, and I never used that word. Woo, I love it. It was dope for me too earlier, which is why I was like, I know this is Ask Me Anything, but we're doing this because this is amazing. There was a Black Panther with me, and I flew to Machu Picchu and could feel the sacred energy there, see the stairs, the green mountainside. Fascinating experience. Wahoo! I love it, Janessa. That is fantastic. Shannon, very deep. Yes. This one I feel is a good one. This will probably be one that goes into our Thinkific platform because I adore it, and I'm glad each of you liked it as well. If you have any other questions, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to give you guys some time to process this journey. This was a big one, I feel like. And I feel like it was divinely there for that Cancer new moon energy. We're still in those 3 days to be able to process it. So I love that each of us got to experience that together. Shannon, Waterworks, Fox and Snake. Ooh, I love it, Shannon. I love, if you guys did experience animals, please drop them in the chat. For me, it was a dragonfly and butterfly that came to me. So to share that, those were the 2 that I had. So I'm kind of freaking out that each of us so far saw an animal within this. Fox, Shannon, is about some of that, are you being outfoxed energy? Is there something that you perhaps are now seeing that you didn't? There could be a little bit of that deceptive energy, but now you see it. And I say that now you see it because snake is coming in there too. And snake energy is all about transformation and truth. A lot of people visualize the snake as, you know, a bad thing or as demonic. especially people from Christianic beliefs as well, also Islamic beliefs too, Jewish there as well. But the snake in the garden, right? The story of Adam and Eve, we view the snake as bad. That's not the case with earth medicine. Snake is all about transformation, shedding the old that doesn't serve and allowing space for the new. You know, as the snake sheds the skin, the new shiny scales come in, they're refreshed, they're renewed, they're made whole. So snake energy is absolutely great. So I love that you are bringing that in to work with Fox as well. Joni, you saw Fox too? I freaking love this. I love when synchronicities show up with journeys too for people. So yeah, Joni, that Fox energy, same thing. It really comes into that space of seeing something that you didn't before. There's also a gentle playfulness with Fox though. It's not that like evil deception and manipulation. It's that trickery a little bit, but it's not that, how do I say this? Like, you know how foxes play? Like, when you see them, like, they're very playful. Do they do bad things? Sometimes, yeah, but it's not really necessarily out of that maliciousness that sometimes we see with other energy systems, too. So it's that, just pay attention, but find what it is that you need to see within that playful deception so that you can discern it. It could even be yourself. It could have very well been the deception of love, right? Like you almost had it, but it wasn't quite the true definition. So it could be around the emotions too. Joni, he was in the shadows watching me. Yeah, so I think it's just kind of waiting to be seen. Anytime that something's kind of in the shadows, like it's ready to be seen. It's just waiting for you to acknowledge and to allow it to be seen. So a lot of that energy can really be coming into. Shannon, you weren't scared of the snake because Janessa helped you process your fear of snakes too. If anybody has phobias, Janessa is amazing at helping you move through phobias. Yeah, I love that. Asking about if you saw family members through it. You absolutely can, especially when we're working with angels. It's hard to see what will come, or hard to know what or who may come in through that too. You saw Aunt Sue, Shannon. Yes, I bet you she is certainly one of your angel guides. Yvonne, if we've already moved through it, I'm going to post this, so come back and do it. You can absolutely tap into that. If you have questions or comments, post them in the chat. You know I'll come back and answer them as well. So anybody watching on replay, that goes for any of you, right? So anybody watching on replay, I will come back and answer those questions if you have any that come into this. This is kind of what we do here in Stronger Together. So this is a version of what you would, this is one half. It's not even a version, it's one half of the version of what you see within the Stronger Together coaching community, where Janessa would be working at the same time as I'm journeying, and vice versa. When she's simply aligning, I will be journeying to help us move through. So you quite literally get 6 different modalities all in one working for you at the same time, which is huge transformation in a very short period of time. So if anyone is interested in more content like this, that's more individualized though, because those sessions are held on the Thinkific platform and Zoom, which means you get to interact with me and Janessa live time and video to help you process exactly what you are looking for. If you're interested in that, we will drop that link in the chat of how you can sign up and start that journey with us immediately. The next Stronger Together connection coaching call is going to be on next Thursday. So next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time will be your first opportunity to work with that energy again. Only $99 per month. And with that, you also have access to, I think there are 17 courses now available around energetic boundaries. There is so much. Enneagram, energy healing, crystal healing, all of those modalities together. There's one on journeys specifically. The child chakra development and chakra revisitation course is about to launch as well. So you will also have access to that. So I highly recommend that group if you enjoyed this, because it is like times 100 when you get Janessa and I working together. Oh, the second Thursday. I'm right. Not next Thursday. Second Thursday of July is the next group call. Thank you, Janessa, which is, let me get my date now, the 14th. The 14th, I believe. Yes, the 14th of July at 7 p.m. will be the next one. So you have a little bit of time to make your decision, and you can binge watch any videos that we have in here, but I can tell you that what is in here while amazing, seriously, those connection calls are about 10 times this level and 10 times this transformational, because you get us working for you together. So with that, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in here, so I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night, and universal blessings, everybody.